Okay, yes, we're starting late, but we're going to get going. We had a good conversation with everybody coming in today. I love it. Love it. Okay, here we go. Number one, I have my light on. And when I'm back here talking to you, this light is coming into my eyes. So I'm making the point of getting the lights on. If you have a daylight type lamp, put it on. That will be excellent. And we're going to do strength work. And what we're going to do is we're going to do strength work in a pattern of movement through the day. Through the session today. I have my chair. We're going to do a lot is going to be based around preserving your quads. Okay. If you preserve your quads, you preserve everything else, basically. So I am going to put my weight vest on just because I'm going to be doing everything with a weighted vest. You don't have to. You can just do it with your body weight. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm just stepping out. That's it. So if you want to walk and do a hesitation, you're stepping out. You can do it that way. So I'm going to base everything around 10 repetitions, okay? So I'm going to go step, and I'm going to come back. And I'm going to go step, and I'm going to come back. Now, let me warn you. When you step out and you drop your knee, you don't even have to go as fast as I'm going, okay? Step out and get your body position. And I'm trying to wake up all the muscles in our legs. I'm trying to start breathing a little deeper because we're demanding a little more air, a little more oxygen. When you take that breath, shut your mouth. Breathe in through the nose. Now, when you take that big step, I want you to drop the knee in the back and watch how far the knee goes forward, okay? You don't want it to go forward too much. It'll go forward a little, that's okay. But you see, the minute you pick your heel up in the back, it's going to push you into a balance exercise, okay? So I've got about 3 more. I'm going to try to stay with my 10 repetitions max of any one certain thing. Now, not to say, Kathy, then I'm going to come back and finish it with another 10. But that's legal. Okay, just want to get straight with you so you don't yell at me. Okay, come back. Okay, let's just do 2 more. I'm keeping under my 10. See, I'm just stepping. Just stepping. Okay, take a big deep breath. Put that down. Walk. Turn. Walk. You're taking 1 or 2 steps forward. Turn. Turn. And I want to do this with my rib cage up. So I'm just doing a turn. And a lot of people, whenever I introduce pivoting, and that it's a big basketball move, it's a move in a lot of sports actually. And they'll say, oh, I don't care about sports. I say, well, do you care about turning around and not falling? That's all we're doing. And you'll see whenever I'm going to pivot, I'm only allowed to lift my heel. And I have to turn with my toe down. So keep that toe down, pivot on one side, then go to the other side. See how I just pivoted around? So I should have Juliana demonstrate this one to everybody. And as she will tell you, the pivoting is what will cause her a lot of issues because she's recovering from a knee injury. So Juliana, when you turn, if you are not having good luck at pivoting, which a pivot is toe down and then turn, see that? So if that's hard for you, then you're going to step and then step. That's all. Just do some more steps. It doesn't look as smooth. That's okay. See, I'm doing a step, step. So I want you to really understand that this practice that I'm doing with you right now in a very small area, number one, I have my pole. I don't know if you noticed that. But as I'm walking, I'm doing a real normal heel toe move, but then I pivot and I turn that toe and I turn myself and then I pivot the other way with the other leg and I turn and I come back around. So this little maneuvering that I'm doing right now is very central to our motion, to our being able to move through our day with ease. So all the lineups apply. Rib cage up, take a big breath through my nose. I want to pivot on one foot or lift one foot, then lift the other foot. And I want to do this in a very small area because I'm actually trying to get you to do turning, spinning, so that you have to use your vestibular system. And at first you might go, oh, I'm feeling a little dizzy. Slow it down, take a breath, use your pole, and spot something in the room that is stationary. Every time you turn, then turn back the other way. So this little maneuvering, this could be one of your 1 to 2 minute activities. Just get up, take a little walk here. It's not, a difficult thing. It's just you have to be mindful to do it. So I'm hoping that in these few little minutes of me turning, pivoting, or lifting a foot, if I can't pivot, and turning repeatedly in a small area is getting you to where it's pushing you a little bit with your balance, with your vestibular function. It's in the inner ear. Don't be surprised if you have a little stuffed up nose, if your eustachian tubes are, just a little stuffy. It's going to affect your balance. Okay, so just know that. All right, big breath, got my pole. Now we've warmed up. We've done turning on our foot. That involves the ankle, that involves the knee, that involves your hip. You have to keep your back very extended. I'm putting my weight vest on, and it would be very great that even if, see, this one's 10. This is almost 20 pounds. You don't have to do 20 to get benefit. If you have a backpack that's loaded with 5 to 10 pounds, and you walk around that way and you're very mindful of how you're walking, how you're keeping your shoulders, how you're keeping your neck, your back, that you're not locking your knees, and you're just meandering around your house. You're doing all kinds of stuff. You're sitting down, you're getting up, you're doing all kinds of things. That would be a benefit to you. You're going to burn a whole lot more calories, but you're going to put out a lot more energy, okay? Just by putting 5 to 10 pounds in a backpack and put it on so that it just hangs right off the shoulder, and it needs to be clipped at your waist. So what's one of the first things I'm going to do? I'm going to do a sit and stand. Let's say I don't have time to do this class. What am I going to do? This is what you're going to do without a weight vest. Put your pad down first. That gives me 2 inches. Okay? That gives me 2 inches. And I hope you're able to see me whenever that I go to correct anything or pick something up. I have 20 pounds hanging off of my shoulder here. I have to make sure that I keep my back extended. So now I'm going to go chair width, and we're going to do 10, okay? With a 2-inch lift. So I'm going to come right here. I'm going to just take whoever you are, I don't care if you can do this without anything. The first one, I want you to just find how you're moving. Drop your chin, bring that V from your thumb to your index finger right down here and have a sit down. Take a big breath through your nose. When you bend forward to stand up on this very first one, you gotta know that the hip hinge is so important. So your hands are here, push, heels, and you're up. Take a breath. Hip hinge down. Here we go. Breath, exhale, and you're up. Squeeze your gluteals. Drop your shoulders. Keep your chin tucked. Here we go on the third one. And we're up. Take a big, deep breath. Come back down. And hip hinge. And we're up. Fifth one. Take a breath. And exhale. Keep your chin tucked. And down. Take a big deep breath. And we're back up. We're at about 7 now, I think. I promised you 8. Okay, take a breath. Here we go. Make sure you hip hinge. Make sure you use your little V here. 9, here we go. 10. Now from this point, from right here now, if you just did that, you would start breathing deeper. Big plus. You would start moving all your joints. Another plus. Now I'm going to just hip hinge, come back up, take a step forward. Okay? Do that with me. So you're going to come right here. My feet are pretty wide. Okay? Hip hinge. Keep my chin tuck. Take a breath. Take the other leg. And you're going to step forward. A big step. Now, I'm hoping by now that no matter what we're doing, that you always have a safety net. You're at a wall. You have a chair. You have a pole. Something you can just put your hand out and stabilize yourself. Take a breath. Just a little hip hinge. See the hip hinge? Yeah. So why am I making a big deal out of doing this hip hinge and then taking a step? Well, this is why. When you go to take a big step forward, if I don't specifically tell you to bend your knees and push your butt back a little, you know what happens? You go like this because you know you're going to take a big step. So you know what you do? You go like this. Ah! That's what you do. And that's enough to strain somebody's back. So what I do when I want to take a big step, and mind you, I have 20 pounds hanging right here, okay, on my my vest, my weight vest. Soft knees, push the butt back, take a big step. And if you're a little worried about your balance, have a pole in your hand. It's that simple. So I'm going to come right here. I'm going to feel the quad, and I'm going to take a big step forward. Okay? So what does this put us in? This puts us in a backward lunge position. So yeah, I stepped forward, but you could be stepping back. Okay, it doesn't really matter. Point is, my toes are forward. I'm holding my balance. I have this here if I need it. And now I'm going to tighten my tummy. And I'm going to soften, and I'm going to float backward. Okay? So this big maneuver is kind of a big deal when you're out and about. You might have to take a big step. You got to be in control of yourself. So soften those knees, push the butt back. Now I'm going to take a big step with the other. This is my dog's chewy bone. I don't want to step on that. Here we go. Tight tummy, drop my shoulders, drop my chin, breath, big step. I want to be able to control my movement in a great big step. Okay, so now I'm going to hesitate here in this positioning for just a minute. Just a minute. Take a breath. Drop your shoulders. I got to tighten my stomach because now I got to get out of this, right? And it's a big step forward. To get back, I don't want you to bother or hurt or strain your back. So I'm going to take a little baby slide. I'm going to slide. See that slide? See that slide? That's how you come out of it so that you don't wrench your back by throwing your back and getting your leg back. Okay? Take a big deep breath. Other leg. Here we go. Tight tummy. Yes and yes. I got my pole if I need it. I'm going to take a great big step. So when you have replaced knees and you have replaced hips and you've had foot issues, back issues, etc., this kind of movement with weight, it's a big deal. Okay, so I'm way out here. I'm hesitating here for a bit. I want to really get those calf and ankle muscles really alerted that we're working. Okay, so now from here, instead of just going like that and pulling my leg and pulling my back, what am I going to do? Yes, I'm going to take a breath. I'm going to push and slide and come back. Okay, so big breath. We did the one very important move is that backward lunge position. Very important move. Okay, I'm going to take my little bar here. Going to step wide. Going to actually use my little pad here. I'll be like that. I have my little bar. I'm going to step to the side of it. I think you can still see it on the ground. Yeah. Okay, so I'm right here. I'm going to step right here. See that? Okay, my hip is hinged a little. Okie dokie. My butt is pushing back a little because I'm going to press on this leg and stand up to where I can go tap and come back down. You see this? This knee is soft and I'm going to come back down. And when I come back down, after I've tapped up here, when I come back down, I have to hold balance, use this if you need to, and come to the heel first. And I'm going to come here, and then I'm going to do it, and I'm going to come forward to the heel. Just like I stepped down off of a step. Yeah. Use this if you need to. Drop your shoulders, tight your tummy. Yes, and yes, and yes. And I'm going to go back down. I'm going to do two at a time. I'm going to do two on this side. You see that? Tap. Yeah, now go forward. Hip hinge, heel forward. Hip hinge, heel forward. Okay? Now we're going to go to the other side. So I'm going to come over here. And I'm going to bend my knee, bend my hip, drop 2 inches, and get my heel down first. And then come back up and tap. Then go back down and heel. See that? Come back up and tap. Now go 2 to the front. Take a big breath. I'm going to hip hinge first. And then I'm going to try to get that heel down. And you notice I'm using my little bar here. Not hard, but I'm using it. And what am I trying to get you to do? I'm trying to get you to use your quad and your gluteal to drop your weight down off of this 2-inch little platform thing. Okay? This little balance pad. And if we were doing this off of an 8-inch step, whoa, that would be excellent. Okay, and most of us have that in a if you have a stair anywhere in your house, it's going to be at least 6 to 8 inches is what it's going to be. Okay, so here I am, heel, and then come back up. See, heel, come back up, and you need to be pushing on this foot all 4 corners, maybe a little more into the heel, but it's going to be on all 4 corners. Okay, tightening your tummy. I'm going to stay on this side for a couple more. Okay, 2 more to be exact. I'm telling Kathy. So I've done 2, now I've done 2, now I'm going to do 2 more on this side. Then I'm going to move over to the other one. I'm still staying with the 10 rep. First of all, drop your shoulders. Take a breath with your nose. You're right here on this leg. The first thing you do is you say rib cage up and you hip hinge. You soften your knee, and then I'm going to come down and tap the heel. Come up, tap the toe, down, tap the heel, tap the toe. Just do 2 more. I said 2, but I'm going to do 4 here. And tap the toe, and 1 more, and tap the toe. Now I'm going to go off the front edge. Hip hinge, soften the knee. Why am I saying that? Because when you go to put your heel down in the front, it feels weird. And your tendency is to lock your knee. No, I want to bend the knee. I want to hip hinge. I'm going to keep my chin tucked. Breath. I'm going to go heel tap, heel tap, heel tap. 1 more. Heel tap. You should be feeling that in your legs, in your hip. Yes. Okay, move over to the other side. Okay, now we're going to do 4 of these. We're almost at the 10. Kathy probably says we are, but you know, it's the way it is. Life's not fair, Kathy. Okay, here we go. Hip hinge. I hope you're laughing. Have your pole, and if you use it, but use it lightly, because I'm trying to get you into this. I'm trying to get you into this. This is my hip replace side. This is my knee replace side. I need to get into those muscles without hurting the joint. That's the point of this whole thing. Okay, here we go. Breath, heel, and come up and tap. Drop the heel, come up and tap. Drop the heel, come up and tap. 1 more. Heel, come up and tap. And now I'm going to go off the front edge. Okay, so tighten tummy, breath, hip hinge, stick the butt back, and go off that front edge. I'm telling you, it feels weird. I know it. Oh, we need to do this. So if you have stairs and you have a good solid stair rail, I'm telling you, this move right here will bring your quad and your gluteal back into play in a real way, because you've got to really get to where, if you're going to do 3 sets of 10, and I'm doing 10 at a time today, so we're about there, okay, on this little maneuver, that starts bringing your muscle back just that much. And I'm doing it with a weight vest, but you can just do it with your own body weight, okay? Okie dokie. Now, I got my bar, got my little pad right here to step on, which we're going to do a little outtake, and I got my chair. See that? So I'm going to step wide as I can, over on either side of my little pad. See that? Now, I'm going to do a hip hinge. And yes, I have a weight vest, but this will work just fine with your body weight. Now, if you want to, you could pick up your weights. Absolutely. Put a backpack on. Absolutely. Or just do it with your body weight. That'd be fine. We're going to do the froggy squat. Remember that? See, I'm just doing a couple to get me warmed up. So if you have joints that don't work quite right, you're recovering from different kind of procedures, operational, and your knee, whatever, hip, back, feet. When you do this hip hinge and you come back up, are you squeezing your butt? Yeah, pull that sucker in. Okay, push the butt back, keep your chin tucked, and now only on the 3rd or 4th one am I going to attempt to go deeper. See, I'm going to go down here, and then I'm going to come right here, and then I'm going to come back up. Be happy to do those little moves. It's preparing you. When you're coming down, you've got to watch your knees, because when you're coming down and you're pushing into your heels now, your tendency is to drop those knees in. Yeah, that's the tendency, and I don't want you to do that. I want you to be right here. See that? Try to go down as deep as you can, then push into the heels and come up. Right now, you're squeezing your butt. Yes, you are. Yes, just like somebody was coming at you with a shot. Okay, drop your shoulders, breath, push the butt back, and you're coming down. And you're keeping your chin tucked. You're going to down so that your butt is lower than your head. Now go into your heels and come up and squeeze your butt. Yes. We're going to do it 3 more times. Here we go. Push the butt back. We're going to come down into the heels, into the heels, into the heels. Hold it there for just a second. Hold it. And then push into the heels and come up. Squeeze. Yeah. Take a breath. And you're coming down. Breath down here. Heels. And exhale. Breath. Take a breath. And exhale going down. Yeah. Stay down there at the bottom. Take breaths. Breaths. Heels. And come up. Squeeze your butt. And come back down. Keep your chin tucked. And here we go. Into the heels, into the heels, into the heels. Drop, drop, drop. And heels and come up. Squeeze your butt. And here we go. Was that 3? I think we're 3. Here we go. Heels, 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 heels. And come back up. Yeah. Squeeze. Okay. Now, I have a weight vest. I'm reminding you of this because I see people coming on and you're wondering, where's the weight training? Well, if you don't pick up weights, you're doing body weight training. If you don't put on a vest or a backpack, I'm telling you, many of you have a backpack in the recesses of your closet somewhere. That is your tool. Load it, strap it on, make sure it's gonna not move, and you're good to go. So we're gonna give these muscles a little rest, and here's my chair. Okay, so I'm gonna step right in here. I'm gonna put my hands right here. I'm gonna bend my elbows just a little. Then I'm gonna step out, not all the way. See, this would be all the way. I'm not ready to do that. I'm gonna come right in here like this. I'm gonna be on my toes. And here's the only thing that I need to make sure that you hear. Keep your shoulders over your wrist on this first one. So this is what that looks like. See this? I'm on my toes. I'm not all the way out. My shoulder is over my wrist. And then I'm just gonna drop my elbows as far as I can and then come back. Take a big deep breath. Keep my tummy tight. Drop your elbows as far as you can and then push back up. Drop your elbows as far as you can and come back up. Take a breath. Drop. Keep your elbows in. Keep your shoulders over your wrist. Come back up. And drop the elbows. And come back up. Take a breath. We're going to go down. Now, if you are getting tired, don't just quit on me. Just go down a little, then come back. Go a little and come back. Make sure your elbows are in. Okay, and come back. Couple more. Elbows in and come back. Elbows in and come back. Now go for it. Go as far down as you feel you can again. All the way down, all the way down, all the way down. Now push back up. We do that one more time. Here we go. Down, 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 down. And come back up. And step in and step in. And come out of it. Now, I'm going to go over to my weights. And I'm going to pick up a light weight. It could be light. It could be medium. It's up to you. Okay? So I'm going to work with my light. So for me, that's 6 on these weights that many of you have gotten from me. Okay, here's my little stepping pad, and then we're gonna do some moving on this one. So let me show you what we're gonna do. We're gonna be sitting. We're gonna do our second set of sit to stands. And then we're going to break it up with moving into here. See that? And doing a little dip. And then we're gonna be doing some work with our arms, okay? So here's my stepping pad. Here's my chair. You ready to go? Here we go. Take a big deep breath through your nose. And I'm gonna do 10 sit to stands. So you take a rest anytime you need to, or do more than me if you want to. Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna go down, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm gonna come up to count of 2. So I'm gonna go hip hinge, and you can have your hands on your legs, or you can be using these out here. This one will be an easier way to go. This one will be more challenging. You get to choose, okay? Take a big breath. Drop your shoulders. Hip hinge, and you're gonna come up, 1, 2, and you're gonna go down, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, hold it, 4, and you're down. So we're doing a hesitating with weights, sit to stand. And I don't have the little balance pad, the 2 inches under me. So you see how I made that progression in intensity? Just by changing those few little things. Here we go, that was 1. Take a breath, drop your shoulder, yeah. And exhale, 1 and 2, squeeze the butt. Here we go, push back, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold it down. Breath. Drop my shoulders, rib cage up. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. That's a 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Drop your shoulders. Take a big breath. I think we're on 4. And here we go. Up. 1 and 2. And down. Breath. 1, 2, 3, and hold it. And 4. So just hold it for just a little bit on that 4th one. But when you do hold it, make sure your back is extended. Here we go. Drop my shoulders. Hip hinge. Breath. 1 and 2. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, and I'm holding it. 4, and I'm down. Drop my shoulders. Here we go. We're at 5 or 6, I think. Here we go. Hip hinge. Drop my chin. 1 and 2. When you're coming up to the 2 count, check in with your knees. Are they wobbling? How are you feeling? You know, make those little changes. Ready? Here we go. Back down. 1, 2. Now I'm at 3. And now I'm at 4. And I'm holding. And my knees are not wobbling. Yeah. Drop my shoulders. Here we go. Hip hinge. 1 and 2. Squeeze your butt. And here we go. Hip hinge. Tight tummy. 1 and 2 and 3. And hesitate. Hesitate, 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 and 4. Okay? Okay, we got, I think, 2 more. Drop my shoulders. Push the butt back. 1 and 2. There we go. Push the butt back. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Make sure your back, right at that last few seconds, last few inches, are not rounding. Your back should not be rounding. Last one, here we go. Hip hinge, pull, pull, and pull. Breath. So as you're coming up, make sure you're exhaling. As you're going down, and you'll exhale. Okay? You got to, because so many people hold their breath when they're going to stand up because they have such, their leg muscles are so weak that they think they have to put everything into it. So I'm just saying, make that line up work for you. So here we go. I'm going to hip hinge again. I'm going to stand up and I'm going to do my pivot now. So stand up. Here we go. And I'm coming up. I'm going to step, 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 and step, and step. Take a big breath. Make sure that you can reach out, put your elbow on something. If you've got weights in your hands, you're not having a powwow, you're back here, you're only stepping over this little 1 plus something foot and only 2 inches, but come up and come over and keep your knee that's on the balance pad very soft, very bent. See, you've lowered your center of gravity, okay? So you can still hang on to your weights here, or you can put them up here. Okay, so lower down, hip hinge, lower, rib cage up, take a breath. I'm gonna come up and over. I'm gonna come up and over. Careful, careful. Drop your shoulders, up and over. Don't let that leg wobble. It's gonna want to, it's gonna want to. Up and over, up and over. Take a breath. Up and over, up and over. Stay down. Yeah. Kind of like a crouching type of a walk. Right there and right there. Breath. We just have a couple more. Yeah? Okay, 2 more. Right here, right here. And we could do this the very same way. We could come up and over for 2, up and over 2, then up and over 1, 2, 3, 4, and step in the middle if you need to. Then go to the other leg. Take a breath. Here we go, right here. And I'm gonna come up. My knee is bent. My rib cage is up and over. Big breath, up. Put your foot here if you need to, and then back down. So it's this challenge. See, I'm letting you put your foot there if you need to. If it gets too scary, you put your foot there, okay? Take a breath, take a breath. So if you're not quite on, just go 1 and then 2, that's it. And same thing, that's perfect. Drop your shoulders, breath, 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 breath. Hang on, breath, 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 and breath. And bring them down and bring them down. Yay. Okay, here we go. Now I'm going to come up to 9. So I'm going to pick up 9 and 9 in my weights. But right now, I'm going to do our 3rd sit to stand. Now, you're using your body weight. I'm using my body weight, but I have a weight vest on as well, okay? Big breath, we're gonna come here. We're going to be chair width, the leg width apart, okay? Big breath, drop my shoulders again. Yeah, now squeeze my butt. Yeah, engage your gluteals. Engage your gluteals. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna come down and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, take a breath. Exhale and come up. Take a step, walk over, walk over. We're gonna put everything together now. Turn around, walk over and walk over, and turn, and stand in front of my chair, hip hinge, drop my shoulders, drop my chin, breath, yes, and exhale, all over again. Here we go, squeeze, step, 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 pivot, turn, step, step, and in front of the chair. Julia can make a dance out of this at one point. Okay, put some music on, you can do it. Here we go. So a breath, an exhale, a coming down with control. Don't let those knees wobble. Then a hip hinge, a breath, exhale, and coming up and stepping over and pivoting the other way and stepping in and over and pivot again. Step in front of your chair, hip hinge, down. Breath, hip hinge, breath, exhale. Step, 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 pivot, and come around and in front of the chair again. Take a breath, hip hinge, pivot, down, hip hinge down. Take another breath, exhale, up, turn, pivot, up and over, turn, up and over, step in front of my chair, hip hinge, drop, and back down. Okay, we're gonna add some arms here. Drop our shoulders, hip hinge, exhale as you're coming up and you're in your heels. Now we're gonna bring our hands here. So I'm gonna step up and over. I'm just gonna do some fist pumping here. See this? Fist pump, turn, right here, boom. Back down and back down. I got about 3 more of these. Here we go, hip hinge, up, pivot, turn, fist pump, turn, fist pump, turn, hip hinge, drop down, breath. So you exhale when you're coming down, you exhale as you come up, especially when you come up. Here we go, step over, turn, step over. So it's this kind of a simple stepping over, turning. Oh my goodness. And if you do it with a weight vest, excellent. Here we go, hip hinge and down. I'm right here. Big breath. Yes. Now, do you remember the arm, the push-ups, the modified push-ups? Yeah. Here we go, hip hinge and up. And here we go. Here's my chair. Okay. Drop my shoulders, rib cage up. I'm doing this with my body weight and my weight vest. You can have a backpack. You can have any sort of a weight vest of sorts. Okay. Here's an idea. Get a long, light kind of a towel and get you some of the stuffed animals that your grandkids have around. I wouldn't say you're ready for a live kid right now. Strap them on like a papoose. Yeah, and then do this. That's kind of like what a weight vest is like. So now I'm going to come down. I'm on my hands. I'm going to step back. I'm going to drop down. Now I'm not going to bend my elbows. I'm not going to push up. I'm doing a plank. I'm going to bring my knee to the chair, and I'm going to keep trying to work it, getting that heel down. But you're going to come up onto your toe in the back. You're going to bring the knee forward and then go back. See this? Take a breath. Right to there. Soften your elbows. Soften your elbows. Shoulders stay over the wrist. Don't go back behind your wrist. Stay right over the wrist. Okay, change. Take a big deep breath. Squeeze your butt. And we're going to bring this knee in, tap. Bring this knee in, tap. Bring this knee in, tap. Knee in, breath. Knee in, breath. Just one more. And hold. And then come in, push and come up. Drop your shoulders. Okay. I'm going to take this off. Just want to see how this is how they most any of the vests. They come with some kind of a strap, and then you just bring it over your head. And I'm going to put mine on my little rack here. Okay. There. All right. Woo, I feel so light. Okay, last couple moves. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to crank my weights up. And how far am I going to crank them? Well, I could take the whole thing, but I'm not going to. I'm going to take 15 and 15. That's what I'm going to do. Whatever seems heavy to you, that's what I want you to do. Okie dokie? That's all I want you to do. Now here's the deal. For this one, if you really loaded, you could have your little balance pad on your chair. That would be the modification I would choose. Because I'm gonna go ahead and sit down in this chair with this 30 pounds, whatever weight you chose. I'm telling you, if you wanna get your little butt up off a chair without somebody helping grandma or granddad, you gotta do these, okay? That's just the way it is. So I'm gonna step in front of my chair. I've got as heavy a weight as you think you can handle, okay? And I'm gonna be about chair width apart, not super wide. I am not gonna do a full sit down. I'm gonna touch the backs of my legs to the chair. Then I'm gonna stand back up. That's what I'm gonna do. It looks like this. Big breath. I'm gonna go right to here, and I'm gonna come back. See that? I'm not gonna go fast, but I'm gonna breathe. Stay with me, all right? Squeeze that barrel, and then relax the hands. You can't keep them tight all the time. Here we go. Stay with me, I'm gonna do 10. Breath, exhale, touch, exhale, and come up. So you're gonna take a breath down there. So breathe, exhale, breathe, exhale, breathe, exhale, and exhale. Squeeze your butt right here. Drop your shoulders. Here we go. Breath, exhale, come back, exhale, exhale, and exhale. Keep chin tucked. Exhale, and exhale. Couple more, about 3, I think. Kathy should be proud of me today. I'm really working at this, Kathy. Okay, one more. Okay, now step over to your pad. I'm gonna step and step. Then I'm gonna turn, step back over it. I'm gonna keep my ears over my shoulders. If you have to look down, dart with your eyes. Don't lean your chin out. Breath, and back over. Here we go, breath, and back over. Breath, and back over. Okay? Now I'm gonna go ahead and put these up. And right there, I'm gonna shake out my hands. I'm gonna put my hands right here behind my head. When my hands are behind my head, pretend that I'm right there with you and that my hands, I'm standing behind you, my hands are right here on your shoulders. They gotta stay down. Now open those elbows back. Now squeeze your gluteal. Drop your chin, take a breath. Through your nose. Oh, push back on those elbows. Drop your shoulders. Yes. Drop your shoulders, push back on the elbows. Squeeze your butt. Breath. 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 You should be pushing back against those fingers with your head. This is so good for your neck. Hold it. 5, 4, push back. 3, 2, 1, and back down. I hope you feel better. Try to remember this. There's stuff that's going on that you can't do a thing about. And if you're praying for those kinds of things, do 10 sit down and stand ups, because that will help you breathe deep and you'll feel so much better. And just remember, it hurt me more than you. Stop recording.